I've always been a bit of an underachiever, and I was stuck in this dead-end job, going nowhere, no promotion, like so many people in England. And for me, East Asia and Japan represented like something new and exciting and unknown. So for me, that's what life here represented. Something new and exciting. And at the same time, getting into this new form of media that I'd never seen before. And it was all so different. And I couldn't wait to get here and explore everything. And for the first 6 months, everything is so exciting and new. You feel like you're living an adventure. And that fits with everything that you see in maybe anime you watched. And everyone tells you not to do that, to not think that it's going to be like it is in anime, or to like lower your expectations. But it's only human to feel excited about something new and like a big change in your life. So I did, and I didn't have like big problems or anything, but I thought that this would fix everything. And of course it didn't. In fact, it probably made things way worse, because after a while, these new experiences become less, and you, regardless of how different it is, build a routine, and then that becomes like normal. And once that becomes normal, you still have all the problems with life, you know, work, a boring routine, everything. But on top of all that, you have like way more isolation, loneliness, and you're an alien and an outsider. And you have to deal with that all by yourself. But, you know, you might be wondering, how does this relate to anime? And well, because of its like accessibility, the type of anime most people are first exposed to is like shonen stuff, where some character is, you know, the chosen one. They're special, and they don't really do anything, but they just become special because it's aimed, you know, at adolescents. And when you're leaving, you feel that something special is happening to you. You're going to fix your life, or everything's going to be better and more exciting. But it's not. And because of the nature of these, you know, manga or anime, they're like so idealistic and idyllic. They paint like a picture of life here as perfect. You know, you're the savior of your school volleyball team, or you are given amazing powers to heal the world. You know, I would go to exhibitions of Jujutsu Kaisen or JoJo, and I would feel that I was having these amazing experiences that no one from where I was from was having. You know, they were stuck in boring old England, while I'm in exciting Japan. And that's just a fantasy, you know. It's not real. Life here is just as droll and boring as it is wherever you're from. Maybe even more so, actually. And there's a saying that you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you come from. And my mum would always say to me, Adam, you can't escape yourself. You can't run away from yourself. And I think 4.5 years ago, that's what I was trying to do. And I was definitely trying to escape something. Directionlessness, mundanity, or feeling like I couldn't do anything with my life in England, which wasn't true. And because I didn't solve the core problems, I couldn't escape myself. All those same issues existed here too. But on top of that, I had a whole bunch of new problems. And I could no longer find comfort in the things that initially attracted me here. You know, I think one of the things that attracts us all to Japan is that it is so different and so alien. But once you've lived here long enough and you experience being the alien within this culture, you know, you don't fit in, you're an outsider. I think it becomes more difficult to find any comfort in the things that initially attracted you here, because it's not your culture and it's so different and so alien to like what you are. So after about a year, the novelty wore off for me, and I started to find comfort in all the things that are from where I'm from, and the things that I feel represent me better. And that was the idea for this channel, to talk about my experiences here and frame them through the media that I love and the things that I identify with and the things that I guess have been formative in the way I think and the way I perceive myself. And there are so many people, YouTubers in Japan, making content about Japan. And they're really good at it. You know, they're so much more passionate and knowledgeable. And for me, you know, I'm not even slightly interested in that anymore. So I want to make content about the things that I'm interested in. And that's what gave me the idea to start this series and to frame my life here with how I got a better understanding of all the characters and all the things that I love. And you might think that this is painting a really dim view of Japan and that I hate it here. but that's not the case. So when I came, I thought that by moving, I would automatically change who I am, but that's impossible. But through all the experiences and difficulties and even good things, I have changed, and I view that as a positive one. You know, every time I had a difficulty with not understanding something or it going against like what I would do in England, I grew. I became more patient and more mature. And I also learned how to enjoy being prepared and being professional. You know, when you first get here, even going to something as simple as McDonald's becomes like a trial. Like, how prepared are you? Do you know all the kanji that you need to know? Do you know how to ask for something? And I became someone who really enjoys that challenge. And I'll always remember the first time that I learned the word tampin. It was one of the first time I went to McDonald's here. I'd be lying if I said this experience hasn't worn me down a little and made me world weary, because it definitely has. But growing up and personal development and I guess spiritual growth can also be positive and fun experiences. And that's what I'm here to tell you. So don't go into something thinking it's going to like fix all the problems in your life, because it's not. But also, if you do happen to make the leap, try something new, don't immediately quit when it goes wrong. And trust me, it will go wrong. But if you stick with it and persevere, you'll learn way more about yourself than if you just stayed stagnant in the same place like other people. So you should always take a chance, and you never know. Right now, I have about 4 months left here, and I thought it was the perfect opportunity to reflect and talk about so many of my experiences and thoughts about living here before I go back to England. Now, going back to England isn't going to fix everything any more than coming here did. And I'm not expecting it will, but I'm just looking forward to the next chapter.